Utah Valley University will host a Vigil for Unity in the wake of the tragic shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. According to the school, the vigil is going to, quote, provide a space for students, faculty, staff, and community members to come together in remembering, healing, and reaffirming shared values. We want to discuss with global human rights leader Martin Luther King III. Sir, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I want to share with our viewers something that you posted online after Kirk's assassination. You said that your heart was heavy because his death was not only a tragedy for one man or one movement, it was a wound to the soul of our nation. And you added, "The time is now to lay down the weapons of rage and pick up the tools of peace." Do you feel that leaders in both parties have made a concerted effort to do that?
Well, certainly some leaders have done that and others have not. So we have to continue to encourage our society. Civility just in general in the political space is temporarily lost. Somehow we must reacquire that civility, and it should never, ever have gotten to the point where someone loses their lives because of words that they were saying. It is beyond off the rails. It is going in a direction that perhaps is not sustainable. My father used to say we must learn nonviolence or we may face non-existence, which would be terrible consequences.
No doubt. There was something also that you wrote that really struck me, because there are people out there, and we've covered these stories, who have expressed no sympathy for Charlie Kirk. There were people out there celebrating his murder, and yet you write about grieving him even as he at times had critical words about your own father. He reportedly went from years ago saying that your father was a hero and a civil rights icon to most recently saying that your father was awful and that he wanted to break the mythical sainthood of someone like MLK. I'm sure those comments don't land well with you, and yet you grieve this person. What's your message for those out there who don't feel empathy for Charlie Kirk?
Well, my message is that, I have to first tune into my humanity. And this man, although I may have had disagreements with him on many things, he still is a human being. He was a husband and a father, which I can empathize with because I also am a husband and a father. So his wife and his two children would not have their loved one to go through life now. And I know that experience because I was 10 years old when my father was gunned down. So I have empathy first, and I would encourage everyone to consider that. The interesting thing is he even talked about empathy, but everybody has to define their own course, and everyone has the right to do that. And I'm going to always continue to first deal with humanity. I think our society, tragically, is losing some of its humanity. And maybe that's I think that's got to be temporary. We got to always hopefully turn to our humanity first and foremost.
You spoke a moment ago about some of those discordant voices that have not called for unity, that have pointed fingers, that have called for vengeance. If not all of our leaders are pushing for peace, if the loudest voices are pushing blame, who should people turn to? Who should people model their behavior after?
Well, again, I don't think any of us can tell somebody you should do this or you should do that. I mean, that's what free will is, the will to do what you say, but you shouldn't. I would hope that we wouldn't be doing things that destroy and discredit and diminish. I always want to come from the position of trying to lift up. That's what I've chosen to do. I could have more hostility than anybody. My dad was killed by a white man. My grandmother was killed by a black man, so I could theoretically hate and dislike all people. But I've chosen the path of love and forgiveness, which also is the path of what my Christianity says I should do. And so I cannot mandate that. I have no magic wand. I only have what I have to present. And I hope people would consider that more than not.
I can't tell you how much I wish people would consider it too. Martin Luther King III, thank you so much for the time.